안녕하세요 여러분. 저는 여러분의 한국어 친구 Natalia. Okay, so I am here to do my February progress update video, even though it's middle of March. Anyway, so for starters, I just have to say this. February was a mess. Okay, I'll get to that later. But statistics, let's look at the data because I personally am a very data-oriented person. I mean, I just am. Okay, so using a tracker, and if you don't know what a tracker is, it's an app that allows you to track how much time you spend doing certain tasks or activities. You can check out the video I made about it up here or down below if you want to learn more, but yeah. Okay, so according to my a tracker, in the month of February, I spent about 41 hours learning Korean. So that's about 10 hours a week if you do the math. And honestly, I'm a little disappointed in myself that it was only 41 hours. And I don't know, okay, I don't know why I feel like this, but I feel like that's not a lot. And I guess because in January, I studied for about 41 or, not 41, I'm sorry. I studied for about 51 or 52 hours in January. Maybe that's why I feel like that, but I've been having so many issues with myself lately about this because honestly, I kind of didn't even want to make this video because I was so disappointed with myself for multiple reasons. One of the overall study time. Another thing that happened this month that made me like not want to make this video was that I stopped using Memrise because it was honestly the silliest reason. You're gonna judge me so hard, and that's okay because I know I'm being weird. But okay, so I had this exam for my class and I was studying for this exam like in the library until like 12 a.m. and as I was leaving the library, like I was leaving the library like right at like 11:54. I remember because I looked at the clock and freaked out because Memrise, it has this kind of streak feature built in to where if you review your words and you meet your the goal that you set for yourself every day, it like creates a streak so you feel more motivated to do it. And at that day, I was at 29 days in a row that I'd been meeting this goal, right? And I saw the clock and I freaked out because I hadn't done my Memrise yet. And so I ran to the nearest chair to, you know, get out of everybody's way. And I'm like, here doing my words like, and I didn't beat the clock. And I lost all my streaks on all my courses. And it made me really angry. This is really funny to say, I feel like, because it's just like, why would I feel angry? Like I did all the work to get that streak and I still studied my words that day. I just don't have the streak to prove it. But it made me so upset that I completely stopped using Memrise. Like I haven't even opened the app since. It's made me so angry. Like I'm just so mad at myself. Like how could I forget that because I had an exam? Like it literally takes me like 10 minutes in my whole day to meet like the streak like requirement. And so yeah, I have not learned words since the middle of February. At least not through Memrise because I've been so angry with myself. So that's one thing that made me feel like February was a mess. I'm sorry I ranted about it because I feel so upset with myself that I messed up my streak, and then I'm also upset with myself that I'm angry that I messed up my streak because it makes no sense. Anyway, moving on. So I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. I'm just so upset. But another reason that I feel like I didn't make a lot of progress this month is because I didn't finish my Ewha books. Okay, so here's my 3-2 book. You've probably like seen me talk about this book on Instagram and just here because I recently ordered the 3-2 book. So I expected to be done with this like the first week of February. But then life happened and I'm still not done with this book. Like I have 1.5 more chapters left in this book. And I'm pretty much done with the vocabulary, you know, before I quit using Memrise. So I really should have been done with this book, but just life happened. And I'm not done, and that makes me disappointed in myself because I feel like that means that I didn't make it a priority. And so I'm upset with myself because now my whole schedule is behind because I made this schedule of how I was going to study for the topic, like all 3 months planned out, like, okay, I need to do these, like this many chapters a week in order to finish this, and I need to learn this many words a week in order to meet like this, have this big of a vocabulary. And I gave myself like a few weeks like leniency, I guess you could say, so that if something happened, like I still had time to meet my goals. But like I'm past that buffer that I gave myself because of life. And I really, okay, this update is more of like an update on how I'm disappointed in myself. And I know I shouldn't be because life happens. Like this month I had midterms, and if your high school has midterms, or if you're in college as well, you know that midterms, even though it's a week long, it's not actually a week. It's more like 2 weeks, because the first week you're studying for midterms, and the second week you're taking midterms and studying for midterms, and then after that you're just kind of dead for a while because you're just you know what I mean? So half the month was midterms, the other half was presentations, other exams, and my career fair, because I'm a senior in college, so I have to go to those. And so it was this big mess of just, I felt like I was being like pulled, like not pulled, yeah, like pulled in all different directions. And so even though I did my best to study Korean, I didn't make as many improvements as I wanted to. So that really, I don't know, it made me feel like I didn't accomplish a lot. And thinking back, I know there's one thing that I am proud of myself for the month of February, and that's I was less afraid to talk. I know that sounds kind of weird, but so my Korean friends from my host university, so I studied abroad in Korea, right? And my university is partner schools with my Korean university, Suncheongyang, and one of my friends who I met in Korea, she's studying abroad at my university this year, and so we've been hanging out a lot, right? And one of her friends, who's also from my host university, came for a month he had a special program. I won't get into it, but so he was here, and she asked me to like only speak to him in Korean just so he would feel more comfortable. And so we went to go get lunch, and I was only speaking Korean like for the whole car ride and the whole lunch and afterwards and everything. And I remember I was like excited about it, but I was also really nervous because I feel like it's very rare that I'm in that type of situation like here in the US. So like I haven't been in that type of situation since being in Korea where I can only speak Korean. So I don't know why it felt more comfortable speaking. Like usually I don't speak like tons and tons of Korean with my Korean friends because their English is much better than my Korean, and we're just like hanging out. It's not like a language exchange. You know what I mean? They're not there to help me learn Korean. We're just like hanging out. So like, yeah, we'll switch between languages, but like, the majority of our conversations in English. So this time it was all in Korean, and usually knowing myself, I get really awkward. And sometimes I won't speak as much just because like why? I'm like listening and trying to absorb as much as I can. And sometimes it's kind of hard to speak because I can't speak as fast. But I don't know, I felt like I was able to speak more quickly, and I wasn't as afraid to make mistakes, which I'm really proud of myself. Like after that I had to go to work after lunch, and like I was just at work like I'm so proud of myself. I spoke so much Korean today. And like even when I didn't know a word and my sentences were a mess, because there was one time my sentence was a real mess. I was like no wait, like I kept like rearranging grammar points because I couldn't, like, you know when you say something and you know it's wrong and you're like, I think I can say this if I use this other grammar point, and so you try to like switch it up, and like my friend was just like, she's listening, she's like and he's just like, what? I was like, no guys, I got this. And I said it, I kept like rearranging it, and then my friend's like, oh, da 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 da. Like, that's what you wanted to say, right? And I was like, yes! I was so proud of myself that she understood. She's like, oh, God bless Sudin. Sudin was like, she's like, I used to talk like that when I was learning English. And I was like, thank you, Sudin, for your support. And she's like, don't worry, I got you. I understood you. And I was like, thank you. And her friend, he was just like, what? I'm sorry, I'm laughing because it's really funny. He was really supportive too. Like even when he didn't fully understand what I was saying, he was able to understand enough to like keep communicating. But anyway, I'm really proud of myself for being able to speak Korean in that situation. And I guess just like the fluency and how I wasn't afraid. Like I was afraid, but not enough to where like it held me back from trying. So I guess that is my biggest, like my proudest moment for February out of all these other moments that I'm like really ashamed about. I'm like, let me just brush this in the corner. Okay, anyway, that's all I've got for you guys. Sorry, it's kind of like ranty and I'm talking about how I'm like upset with myself, but I don't have anything to say after that. That was it. Okay, anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Tama bayo guys, bye bye.